Hey guys, welcome back to another garden tour. It's Sunday, July 7th. I just spent a full day working outside. Got quite a bit done. We've managed to spread quite a bit of topsoil and grass seed, so hopefully this will turn green in the next few weeks. The plants have put on quite a bit of growth in the last week. We've had some really good weather, hot sunny days and a little bit of rain mixed in there, so all the plants have grown significantly in the last week. So let's take a look and see what's happening. In this first bed, the beets that I transplanted from another bed a couple weeks ago have all survived. Really didn't think they would, but they've all bounced back and are growing right along. We should be harvesting some lettuce shortly. Round 2 for lettuce is doing quite well, and later on tonight I'll be planting round 3 for the lettuce. Pepper plant that we picked up at a local nursery because mine all died from the frost is doing well. And then we have 2 squashes. I think that's a butternut and a spaghetti squash, just leftover plants, so nothing was going in this bed, so we put them in. We'll see how they do. Now, since I filmed the video on pruning all the tomato plants, they've all come up a couple inches in height, and on 3 of the plants we have some fruit set already, so this should be another great year for the tomatoes. Again, the asparagus are just flowering. They'll be producing their fruit, which is unedible, but looks really... Nothing much to see in the Brussels sprout bed. They've grown up about an inch since last week. Again, the covers are nice, no insect damage, a little bit of insect damage, but for the most part, nothing much happening. Broccoli are growing right along. You can see, let's see if we can see it. There is our first broccoli starting to grow. Difficult to see through the netting, but these plants all look healthy. Should get another good crop of broccoli. Now, in the last week, the pea bed has really grown significantly. I think all these plants have put on 2 or 3 inches of growth in the last couple weeks. So the 2 here that are flowering are the sugar snap peas. We should be harvesting those, a couple weeks at most. And then the Oregon Giant, which are the edible pod peas, are just starting to put out the first flowers, and then shortly after that the regular garden peas will be flowering. So should be another good crop of peas. Again, I have not gone in here to weed this bed. When you sow peas densely, they really do a good job of choking out the weeds. You can see there's a few weeds on the edge, but it doesn't seem to affect their production or their growth in any way. And the bean plants on the end are just starting to wind their way up the poles, but they take a bit to get established. And in the other large bed, the spaghetti squash in the back left are really big. They've really put on weight since last week. They look different every day at this point. And the butternut squash, a little bit slower. Again, I think there's something wrong with them. I don't know what the white leaves are. I gotta look it up. But hopefully they recover and produce some butternuts. Set up the trellis, and we'll be starting to train the cucumbers as soon as they start vining out. A few plants there. Again, we got a late start on a lot of these things, so we'll see what happens. 2 extra tomato plants that I have to tie up to the stakes, and zucchinis are really taking their time to get established and get rolling. So we'll see what happens. Now, we've been harvesting the kale and the Swiss chard quite aggressively, but we find that the more aggressive you are in your cutting, the quicker they bounce back. They really start to put out a lot of leaves as you trim them back. And in this bed I did the same thing. Since the beets transplanted well and survived in the other bed, I just took the rest and transplanted them in this bed. This is where we had the spinach. The spinach finally bolted, so we took all that out. And hopefully these ones survive. They looked a little rough on the other bed, but they managed to pull through. So strawberries are doing well. Quite a few flowers. Not on every plant, but on most plants. So in the next couple of weeks we should be having our first crop of strawberries. And cauliflower, it's a slow crop. So this bed will be here right until the end of the season. Quite impressed with our blueberry plants. Everyone is loaded with fruit and putting on a lot of new growth. This is only the second year that these plants have been here, so I wasn't expecting too much in terms of blueberries, but as you can see, every plant has quite a bit of fruit set and putting on a lot of new growth. So they really like this this bed, this mix of soil. Okay, that's it for the garden tour. Just a quick walkthrough of the beds. Hopefully in the next 2 weeks we can shift from just watching the plants grow to actually seeing how much produce we can get from these beds. It's always exciting, interesting to see how much the plants will actually produce. So until next time, see you later.